Welcome back for another pickle pile reading. As you can tell from the title, we're going to be doing What Does September Have in Store for Me? But please remember that readings are timeless, so if this resonates and unfolds in September, wonderful. If not, maybe it's another month. Who knows? Whenever this finds you, it could be meant to find you. It is up to you to determine what is resonating and what is feeding your ego. All right. As always, the songs for each pile are going to be in the description box below, and there are timestamps listed below as well. I'm not going to yap too much for this. We're just going to dive right into it. I love y'all, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Welcome back. This is for those of you that chose pile number 1, or you were drawn to my beautiful Final Rose tarot deck for today. Before we even really get started, I do want to mention that the Final Rose tarot is, of course, usually an indication to me that Aphrodite is significant in some capacity. So either she's a goddess that you work with, you've been considering working with her, or maybe you just resonate with her energy and story. Take it however it fits for you. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and hit shuffle on my Super Mix on YouTube Music and see what comes through to start the music for this collective. So the first song, Bold, and it's very loud, so I feel like some of you should listen to this. Immediately when I said it's very loud, I am kind of sensing that you're about to be loved loudly, or you're about to be loud about something. This could be for some of you. This is, like I said, you're either going to be loving loudly, or someone's going to be loving you loudly, or vice versa. Or this is going to be more like you're going to be healing loudly. Take it however it resonates for you, but the first song to come out is called I'm Ready For You by Bryson. So for a lot of you, I do feel like it is very likely that you are stepping into an era of romance, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, you might have also been drawn. They're showing me the spicy tarot deck that I have in my mind's eye, which I think it's going to be like pile number 3. It's the red one. There could be some sort of significance. Maybe you were pulled to both of those two piles. Maybe they tie in together. I have no idea. I haven't even done pile number 3 yet. So anyway, that being said, like I said, the song is I'm Ready For You by Bryson, and the songs for your reading are in the description box below underneath pile number 1. All right. So what's interesting is, first of all, I kind of want to talk about the fact that I can only see like 5 cards upright and the rest of them are hidden from me. The first 2 cards that came out that I could see clearly were the Ace of Pentacles and the Hermit. So it's almost like some of you have been going through a period of introspection, a period where you've been spending a little bit more time in solitude, a little bit more time with yourself, maybe just reconnecting with your internal compass is what I just heard. So for a small group of you, this is actually isolating yourself from other people and spending more time, like it's giving homebody energy. Others of you, this is more like you might be venturing out in public, but like you're very like introverted when you're doing so. So they're showing me like having headphones on, maybe having like a really strong resting bitch face going on, like take it however it resonates. But there was a period of introspection, and for a lot of you, I feel like this main focus that you were looking at had to do with your finances. Hello, can't talk all of a sudden. It had to do with your finances and your stability. So I feel like whatever you've been kind of going inward surrounding could even tie into some trauma from poverty or childhood. Take it how it resonates. But one of the things that's shifting for you, and one of the things that you're beginning to attract, is not only stability within yourself and your finances, but romantically. Because the other cards that are laying over here that we can see in the upright position are the Knight of Cups, the Four of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. And what's really interesting about this particular tarot deck, for those of you that have never used it before, they have like words at the bottom. And for the Ace of Pentacles, we have first date energy. Then we have hopeless romantic under the Knight of Cups, which again, like someone's about to love you very loudly. Then we have the Mansion with the Four of Wands. And then we have meeting the parents with the Nine of Wands. So like, honestly, for a lot of you, I do feel like there is a romantic relationship that could be opening up for you in September. Something that is very innocent. Like, I don't know why, but this like ice cream cone's giving me very innocent energy. It's giving me very like puppy love phase, like honeymoon, like you're entering into a phase of love that is honeymoon-esque. And then, yeah, look, I didn't even know what was at the bottom of the deck because I wanted to wait to see it when I was reading the cards. And this is the Knight of Pentacles, and it says the late bloomer, and a dragonfly just like flew into my window almost. That's crazy. So dragonflies are actually a symbol of transformation. So I feel like for some of you, this is someone you know. This is someone that you are connected to in some capacity, and there was some sort of a separation period. This could have been a friend, a coworker, someone you went to school with when you were younger. It doesn't necessarily have to be an ex-partner, and to be totally honest with y'all, I don't feel like that's the case for the majority of you. This feels like a very like surface level, maybe you went on 1 or 2 dates and got ghosted, or you ghosted them. Like this is like maybe you were just friends and like it never really went above that. Maybe you're acquainted and in similar circles. It doesn't really feel like there's depth in this relationship, okay? Not that there isn't depth underneath of it, because there's a really deep spiritual bond is what they're saying, but there's like a lack of familiarity. I don't know. It's like y'all don't know each other very well is all I keep being brought back to. And I feel like because that Knight of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck, this has been I'm hearing a slow burn. It's been a gradual energy. It's been building. Interesting. But this is someone that you can rely on with that Ace of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles being so like in the same spread, sorry. I also feel like this person's very romantic. Now remember that roles can be reversed in tarot, so if this isn't somebody connected to you but it's resonating, maybe it's you. The song Far Away by Nickelback. Yeah, and then we have the 9 of Cups as the first card out with the 6 of Wands. This is a very passionate connection. I'm going to tilt this screen up a little bit more. I'm so sorry. My goal is to get like a proper setup going, but financially speaking, I just can't swing it right now. I also think it's interesting. These two images, for some reason, are giving very similar energy, but different, if that makes sense. It's like, which is kind of, they're showing me a mirror in my mind's eye. So like part of this connection could be very mirrored. You and this person could be like very similar when it comes to your morals, your values, your ideals, but very different when it comes to your hobbies, when it comes to your like activities, but your heart remains the same, is what I just heard. So this one says fantasy suites and then challenge winners. Some of you are gonna win something. I heard a contest. This is very specific. Some of you might win a contest to like a vacation away with that fantasy suites here. Like maybe you entered into a contest to go down south on a vacation, or maybe you entered into a contest to get like a weekend away. I don't know, take it how it resonates, but there could be something about winning something. I'm also seeing like a sparkle. So not only they're immediately giving me the energy of like a sparkle in your eyes. So there might be a sparkle in your eyes moving forward, or like in this person's, take it however it resonates, okay? But my phone is quite literally on do not disturb, and somehow I just got a notification. Something about Hinge could be significant for some of you. Maybe you're going to meet this person on an app, or like maybe you did meet them on an app. They're also showing me something about aloe vera. There could be a significance to that. Either the plant or like the actual, like maybe you bought a jug of it or something. I don't know, take it how it fits, but. And then we have that Ace of Pentacles with the Magician in the reverse position. Nope, sorry, I'm lying. The High Priestess. So I think it's interesting that I got that like I was mistaken for what that was too. So first and foremost, they want me to go back over to here for a second. There is some sort of fulfillment that is coming towards you with that 9 of Cups, because traditionally speaking, that's like being fulfilled in every aspect of your life. And I feel like because the 6 of Wands is going on top of it, this is going to make you feel really good. Not only is it going to make you feel confident, but it's going to make you feel a sense of security within yourself that helps catapult you forward in a way that you don't really see coming quite yet, because you're not supposed to, but you will when the timing is right. And Spirit saying it's like a victory that leads to more, is what they just said. So a blessing that brings forward even more blessings. The other thing they're telling me, there's something about like a milestone potentially coming forward from whatever this is. So whatever victory you achieve here, whatever comes in for you, there could be some sort of a milestone attached to it. So maybe you've been working towards a goal. This could be financially, this could be physically, like within your health. It could be mentally, take it however it resonates, but there is a milestone that you have set for yourself that you're about to accomplish. And because the Six of Wands in the upright position usually indicates public recognition, I feel like whatever this milestone is, it's going to be recognized by others, or somebody is going to point it out to you. So take it however it resonates for you, but that is the energy in which I am feeling. Something about an ice cream date for some of you. They keep pulling me to this waffle cone for some reason, and I don't know why. The song Disconnect by Black, and I think that's crazy that that came on while I'm holding the High Priestess in the reverse position. Because, like, honestly, some of you are not trusting this. You're not trusting your intuition. You're not trusting what you intuitively know in your heart is coming towards you. Like, there is something coming in that's really beautiful, that's really big, that's really secure. But there's a part of you that's just like, I don't buy that. Your past is dictating your present, is what I just heard. So, the High Priestess in the reverse position, it's a really big indication of a disconnect, okay? And I still think it's kind of crazy that that song's coming on while we're talking about this. Some of you, part of what this Hermit energy is about, part of this need for you to kind of go inward and process, is to acknowledge where this disconnect from your intuition is coming from and where you have been blatantly ignoring the truth of what you know in your heart, is what I just heard. Some of you are fearful avoidance, is what I just heard. I want y'all, if this has resonated, I want you guys to do some research into attachment styles. First and foremost, when I started learning about that in psychology, when I was studying psych, it opened my eyes in a way that I cannot really even begin to explain to you. I want this collective to do some research into that. If you take anything away from this little reading today, that is the biggest message. You need to go and do a little bit of soul searching and find out what your attachment style is so that you can either heal it or learn to become comfortable with it. Because in my opinion, you can't fully heal them. Like, you can become more securely attached 100%. But I feel like you're always going to have those lingering triggers. It's just, I feel like it's a part of life. I mean, eventually, I'm sure if you're married for 25 years and you know that your partner is never going to do anything shitty, you will probably lessen that. But you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a journey, right? Like, it's a journey to self-discovery. It's a journey to finding out who you are. And Spirit's really encouraging this collective to get a little bit more knowledgeable surrounding their attachments and their trigger points, okay? Excuse me, especially because this particular relationship, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be secure. It's going to be solid. It's going to make you understand what love is supposed to feel like, but it's going to be fucking triggering. And that's because healthy love triggers you. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but, like, it's true. Because it's going to trigger you in ways that you've never experienced before. So, like, example, if you're used to really toxic partners, if you're used to unhealthy relationships, when this person does something kind or gentle or nurturing, it's going to trigger your nervous system in the opposite direction. Because your nervous system's going to be like, okay, well, when people used to do this for me in the past, it was because they did something shitty. So then you're going to try to discover what they did. I feel like this is going to be a really healing dynamic. The song I Remember Everything by Bryan, especially because now they're pulling me to, like, this combination here with the Knight of Cups and the Four of Wands. Something about a hot air balloon. This could even have to do with travel. Remember, tarot is not meant to be taken literally. So, like, the hot air balloon energy could be more symbolic of, like, traveling to a new height or reaching a new destination, shifting into a new dynamic. And the Four of Wands going on top of it is actually kind of really giving me that energy, especially because this is, like, traditionally the Knight of Cups, right? So, like, there is an aspect of this energy that is going to help you understand what love is supposed to feel like I just said. They're pulling me to her wedding ring on this imagery. And it's interesting because the Four of Wands can actually sometimes symbolize marriage, right? Some of you know, you either know this person is the one for you, or you know that this relationship is coming. Because, like I said, for some of you, this is someone brand new. Others of you, you're acquainted in some capacity. And either way, intuitively speaking, you can feel this relationship moving forward. You can feel it ascending. You can feel it coming towards you. But your lack of trust in the divine, in God, in yourself, whatever it is that you believe in, is actually blocking this from completely opening up for you. And that's part of what you need to kind of go inward surrounding. Because now they're pulling me to that Hermit's energy. Something about this, like, fountain in the center of this image is pulling me in. which is giving me like a fountain of youth energy. This is a side message entirely, but your home life is about to be very beautiful, very peaceful, hello, why do I keep saying very stable. Something about berries, like they're showing me blueberries specifically. You're about to feel very secure in your home. There's a new energy entering in. This could be like a new person coming into your space that brings in like a youthful energy field. I don't know. This could be like, maybe you're going to buy a new piece of furniture, art or something. I don't know. Take it how it resonates, but something's about to make you feel really beautiful at home. And for a small group of you, the milestone that you're about to achieve actually ties into your home life in some way, shape, or form. And I just immediately heard something you've been healing. And then we have this 10 of Pentacles. What is this one? Because I wanted to flip it over. Yeah, we have the 10 of Swords. So the 10 of Swords is actually going on top of that High Priestess in the reverse position. Honestly, babies, for a lot of you, the doubt is coming from a rejection wound from your past. One or more of you, honestly, probably all of you, had a really toxic ex-partner. This person made you feel like you had to fight to be loved. This person put you in a very insecure, low vibrational energy about your sense of self and your sense of self-worth. Honestly, I feel like this was a narcissist or someone with severe narcissistic traits, all right? And I feel like this relationship really effed you up. I feel like this person made you believe that you were not worthy of love. Like, they're showing me this energy where, like, this person would go around town telling people that you were psycho, or that you were obsessive, or that you were a stage 5 clinger, or that you did all of these things that ultimately in a healthy relationship with the right person would never bother. But this particular person, because of who they were and because they like to play the victim, they blamed you instead of being like, well, I'm also cheating on them. Well, I'm also talking to 6 other people while I'm engaging with this person. Like, there's something about how both of your behaviors in this relationship are probably not the greatest, but your behavior was being triggered from this person's lack of accountability and lack of being a good person. Take that however it resonates. This is a core wound. Okay, I'm really picking up this energy of like this was probably something that happened while you were developing who you are. So this could have been teenage years, it could have been young adulthood. There's a really big emphasis on psychology for this collective, so like you could be much like myself, you could really like psychology. But there's something very significant about how this relationship was around your primitive years of becoming who you are as an adult and learning to understand yourself. And because this person was so toxic and this relationship was so toxic, there is a part of you that is still carrying that narrative. Like, this is a really big core wounding, baby. The song Pulling Me Back by Chingy. The other thing that I find interesting is as, like, I just read that song title, I started to see this imagery of, like, every time you would let go of this person, whoever this toxic ex of yours is, every time you would let go of them and the strings would break, if you will, this person would pop back up like clockwork. It's almost like they could sense it. Like, they could sense when you were detaching to the point of no return, and this person would circle the block. They're showing me a puppet on a string. Like, it's really giving narcissist energy. And I feel like because you dated a narcissist for those primitive years of, like, learning who you are, it has, like, fundamentally messed with your brain, is what I'm hearing. But you've been correcting that, and they immediately just pulled me to that 6 of Wands. So part of the victory that you're about to receive ties into this core wound. Some of you, this is very specific. If this person cheated on you, or if this person ended the relationship with you and immediately started dating someone new, that new partner has seen the light, and they're going to come towards you and apologize for whatever they did to you. If they did anything. And they might not have, but like, if for those of you that they did do something to you, like maybe they also slandered you, maybe they talk shit about you online, maybe they like spread gossip or whatever, they're going to apologize for that. For others of you, this person didn't do anything to you directly, they just believed what your ex said. They're still going to come toward you. Like, there's something about how you and this person might even end up being like friends, or at least finding common ground, because you are both seeing that they were the problem, not each other. This is, again, very stereotypical narcissistic energy that would like pit people against each other, especially my traditional women. Like, whoever this is very ego based, and like a way that they get their ego fed, if you will, is by making their partner feel insecure about others. and pitting those people against each other. Ew. Something about gingerbread men. Christmas could be significant for this collective, so maybe that's going to manifest around Christmas time. All in all, though, I feel like you're healing something within your heart. And I think it's interesting the Ten of Pentacles is underneath of that. And this one says hometown, right? So the Ten of Pentacles, to me, traditionally speaking, it's financial increases, it's stability, it's a good home life, it's long-term investment and success. And for some reason, I don't know why, but it always gives me the energy of generational curse breaking. And I feel like that's exactly what this collective is doing. So this is very specific. This is a family lineage surrounding narcissistic marriage, surrounding narcissist. So this could be for my traditional women. It could be my non-binary. Take it however it resonates for you. Gender is fluid in tarot. But I am seeing whoever identifies as a feminine, your feminine lineage ties into marriages that are not only codependent and trauma bonded, but with narcissists. So part of what this collective could be starting to recognize is your mother or the feminine that you looked up to growing up was not actually the problem. I mean, they did their shit. They were definitely not great, okay, is what I'm being guided to mention. But their not greatness and the things that they did to you growing up came from the fact that they were married to a narcissist. And I feel like this collective is starting to see that truth about the masculine energy that they grew up idolizing. You're starting to recognize that your father figure, whether present or non-present, is very narcissistic. And this could even be covert narcissist. Like, some of y'all might want to do some research on that as well. But there's something about how, like, I'm seeing like that blowing up emoji. There's something about how you are having such an epiphany surrounding that because you're recognizing how toxic he is. And it's because you're healing. And it's almost like you healing this is shifting the game, is what I just heard. Honestly, a lot of y'all are finally recognizing that you are heavily divinely protected, because if you were to have married that ex-partner of yours, your life would be completely different than it is right now. And I hate to say this, but I am hearing it would be really shitty. You would be miserable, you would be unhappy, you would be, honestly, severely depressed is what I'm hearing. And it's because this person would have kept you that way, which is how this person, like, again, it's a pattern. They keep showing me like a family lineage pattern, okay? That might not be for all of you. Take what resonates, and remember these are collective. But I think it's also intriguing. They're pulling me to this energy here about like a door opening. For some of you, the new relationship coming in for you is going to be very like opening, is what they just showed me. Some of you do live at a distance from this person because they are bringing me to the aspect of hometowns. So for a small group of you, you could live in your hometown or they live in their hometown and like you live away, take it how it fits. But there's something about having to travel. Others of you, maybe you don't live in your hometown and neither do they. Maybe you moved away and you're living somewhere outside of that and you're going to bring this person back to your hometown. Yeah, especially because now they're pulling me to the meet the parents energy. So for a small group of you, you live away from home, or they do, or you both do. Please just take it how it fits. There's just something about going back to your roots, something about going back to your hometown, but bringing this new partner with you. I also do feel like, because traditionally speaking, that's crazy, as I flip over the Eight of Cups, traditionally speaking, the Nine of Wands is about a test of your faith, okay? It's about a lack of boundaries and needing to express those boundaries so that you can move forward. 22 in the time ring, you're not going to see that. That's confirmation. And because I just flipped over that Eight of Cups, I feel like that's exactly what's happening for this collective. You're starting to remove yourself from situations and places that don't align with you anymore, that don't respect your boundaries, that don't hear you when you speak, is what I just heard. It's like this card literally says self-elimination. For some of you, this is about going no contact with your parents. As this is the meeting the parents energy. Yeah, and then we have the Five of Swords. Interesting. Some sort of truth is coming to light. This says tattletale, right? So again, they're bringing me back to that message. Remember how I just said for some of you, if your ex got into a relationship right after you, that person's coming toward you to tell you some shit. I honestly feel like for a lot of you, this person is going to express a lot of truth because they're walking away and they're rejecting this energy just like you did, is what I just heard. Interesting. There is still some overthinking in this collective. Okay, we do have the in their head energy. And then we have the Fool. A leap of faith is happening. I just got an affirmation on my affirmations app, and we're going to read it. Even though I am on Do Not Disturb, I got the notification on my watch for some reason. So, I focus on the progress I've made, not just the failures. I feel like that's what's shifting for this group. You're starting to see things in a different light. There is still something you could be a little bit in your head about, though, and Spirit's saying, like, it's time for you to detach. I just heard the word disassociate, and they're immediately pulling me to the 5 of Swords and the 10 of Swords energy. So whatever that rejection is, it could still be causing some conflict within your mind, where you're looking at things in a more negative light than a positive. And Spirit's saying, like, right now is a time for you to take a leap of faith into the blessings and the beauty that is manifesting in your 3D. Like, leap into the unknown, leap into this new chapter of life. Instead of fixating on the negatives, look at what you've created. Look at the positives, is what I just heard. I feel like this collective is about to embark on a new journey. I did just hear a new spiritual journey. And they just showed me my Witch's Tarot deck in my mind's eye, which is going to be the last pile today, I believe. So there could be some sort of significance to that as well. Yeah, this new person wants to start a family with you. They want to build a life with you. It's interesting because I talk so much about that narcissistic energy from your past, and then we have the narcissist card coming out. So for some of you, part of the reason you have a hard time opening up to love and opening up to the idea of having a relationship is because of that narcissist. That narcissist made you feel like they wanted something more than they did. And there's a part of you that has completely closed yourself off to love and romance because you're terrified of falling into another cycle with another narcissist. Some of you project that narrative 25-25 onto newer partners. Yeah, because you have some intimacy issues, my love. There's a need for you to unpack that. Your intimacy issues are coming from the fact that you were with someone so narcissistic the majority of your life. And I feel like this collective is starting to see that truth because you're shifting gears, is what they just said. You and this new person might end up moving in together. I also feel like some of you, this is very specific, but you could have lived with this narcissist, which is another trigger, is what I just heard. We have transformation, though, here, and I'm being guided to put it on top of the narcissist energy. There is a transformation unfolding. You are healing on a fundamental level from all of the trauma of your past, which, again, is giving me the energy. Remember how I said, like, this new partnership is going to be so different than anything you've ever experienced, and it's going to be triggering in a really good way. Because it's going to help you heal that. This is confirmation to me. Yeah, we have freedom needed. So a gentle reminder that healthy relationships, you still have your independence. You still have freedom. Somebody could be a little bit clingy here. Honestly, I think it's interesting. The intimacy issues is underneath the being too clingy. And I said something about how, like, you had somebody say that you were a stage 5 clinger. So for a lot of you, you're terrified of falling back into that version because of this other person. Some of you, I keep being brought back to saying, like, you are projecting a narcissist paradigm, if you will, onto a new partnership. And this new person or this energy that I felt in the very beginning wants something real and they want something authentic and they're trying to become a better person, but you're projecting your past trauma onto that individual. You're about to see that, is what I just heard. We have talk in person. You and this new energy are going to be communicating very soon. They're showing me, for those of you that do live at a distance, they're showing me like a video call, okay, like a FaceTime or maybe like a Discord conversation. They're also showing me a phone call for others of you, okay? So like take it however it resonates for you. But this person is going to be like, hey, I want to talk to you. Do you have time? It's going to be a lot sooner than you realize. Like for some of you, I am hearing over the weekend. Please don't attach to that, of course. Yeah, this is a discovery period. This is you and this person getting to know each other. It's understanding each other. It's learning about each other. And then we have they can be trusted. This is exactly it. Like you need to open up your heart to love. You need to open up to trust is what I'm hearing. We do have the an affair energy at the bottom of the deck. And I feel like that's your trust issues. I feel like this collective is so terrified of falling into another cycle that you're projecting the old energy into the present. Others of you that live locally, like if you and this person live close to each other, you're going to be going out for coffee or on a date of some sort, okay? But that's what I have. I hope that helps whoever it's meant for. I love y'all, and hopefully I will catch you on one of the other piles. If not, that's okay too. All right, this is for those of you that chose pile number 2 or you were drawn to my traditional Raider White deck. First, before we dive into it, there's 2 things I want to mention. One, I immediately started channeling the song Wake Me Up When September Ends by Green Day for this collective. So as always, the songs are going to be in the description box below under pile number 2. But I don't know why, but I was immediately pulled to that song. And honestly, I remember being like a preteen when this came out. I think I was a teenager actually. I don't remember. But I remember this came out and I was like a level of depression that I don't think I had experienced in a really long time. So I feel like there's some sort of significance to depression energy. And the fact that I just got so confused trying to explain that seems significant. I feel like this collective, especially with the cards that I can see in the upright position, there is some heaviness in your energy. You are healing from something big, is what I'm hearing. Some of you are going through a breakup. This could be romantically, platonically, familial, take it however it resonates. Others of you, this is grief, like this is a death. I mean, it's grief in general, like breakup or not breakup. Grief is grief, right? This could be a death that you're currently experiencing, a friend, a parent, a loved one of some sort. Others of you, this is like walking away from a job that you thought was a part of your purpose. I don't know, just take it however it resonates for you, okay? But there is a depression energy here that's really heavy. It's really heavy. I do feel like for a lot of you, it's almost like everything's happening at once because they're showing me breakup energy being really strong here, but they're also showing me a potential loss of a job, a potential death of a loved one. Like this could even be a grandparent passing away. And then the sirens, can you hear that? That's crazy. Something happened. And you're in grief, you're in mourning, is what I'm hearing. It's like, honestly, I feel like for a lot of you, a tower has crumbled, and it's like one thing after another. But you need to know, like, even though I know this is going to be really hard to hear because death fucking sucks, and it's hard to put a positive spin on death energy, but like a spirit is trying to gently show you that this was for a higher purpose. Even if you can't quite see it right now. The bottom of the deck energy, we have that Knight of Pentacles. So I feel like this was Spirit's way, like, of getting you back on your focus, getting you back on your grind. And I know for those of you that are experiencing a death, that's going to be really hard to hear. Honestly, if this was a death, I feel like it wasn't unexpected. Okay, so what I'm seeing is someone who was struggling, someone who had some sort of an illness. This could have been cancer, it could have been, I am hearing for some of you this was lung cancer. Others of you, this could have been a kidney failure, like, I don't know, it was just something around a health issue that had been an ongoing battle for whoever passed away. Others of you, this is an ending of a relationship. And for a small group of you, it's both. Please take it how it resonates, but I really do feel like this is about you getting back to yourself. It's about you, holding out hope and like recognizing that even though everything might be crumbling around you, you still have stability within you. So the cards that we can see in the upright position right now are the Death card, the Two of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords energy, immediately off the bat, the first thing I noticed was how sad she looks in this energy, and then the blindfold that she has on. So for a lot of you, whatever ending is unfolding right now, you are still kind of blinded to it. Like, you're not looking at it clearly. You're not removing that blindfold to fully acknowledge the truth. The other thing I forgot to mention, when I'm drawn to this deck, it's usually an indication of traditional energy. So for some of you, this could be the end of a marriage or a relationship that you thought was going to go towards marriage. I honestly feel like there's something symbolic about you're seeing this person in a new light. And now is about you overcoming your negative self-talk. It's about you stepping out of your comfort zone in the box that you've cultivated for yourself so that you can recognize the stability that you already hold within you. Because you're showing up as the Queen of Pentacles, regardless of what's going on around you, because they're showing, it's interesting, they're showing me a visual of like you standing there completely still and everything around you like flying around like almost like a tornado, but like you're in the center of it completely calm and secure. And Spirit's saying this is what you need to acknowledge about yourself right now. Even though your mind is trying to play tricks on you and pull you into multiple directions, because I do feel like there is some heavy overthinking in this collective's energy. And even though you're feeling pulled in multiple different directions, there's a part of you that is like, okay, but look at where I am. But look at the stability I hold. But look at the power I have within myself. But because your mind is being pulled in multiple different places, you're having a hard time seeing that. Yeah, we have the Chariot reversed in the Judgment card. The song Kryptonite by 3 Doors Down. Honestly, for a lot of you, I feel like there is an ending of a relationship. Like, again, I'm hearing a marriage. If this isn't a marriage, this was a long time commitment. Like, you have been with this person for 6 to 7 years is what I'm hearing. Some of you even 5 years. Take it how it resonates, of course. And you are finally seeing them. You're seeing who they truly are instead of the mask that you thought, or that they put on, honestly. Like, the mask that they put on is what you fell in love with. This is giving the energy of seeing someone clearly for the first time, which is so painful. I get it, baby. I have been here. It sucks. When you finally see someone for who they are versus who you thought they were, it's devastating. It's heartbreaking. It's like the rug is pulled out from under you. And I feel like that's exactly what this collective has been feeling. So even though you're still focused on your bag, you're still putting that time into your work and your path and your career and everything, there's a part of you that is so melancholy surrounding it. Honestly, I would advise this collective to look into potentially medication for depression or anxiety. If you're not into medication, because everybody's different and we're all entitled to our own opinion, then I would look into spiritual practices that you could start to utilize on a regular basis that could help with your severe depression. Your depression is going to get worse before it gets better, is what Spirit's saying, okay? Now, speaking as somebody who has struggled with clinical depression my entire life, I personally think that medication is really important when you're in the energy that you're currently in. And once you get to a certain, like, your body and your mind will know exactly when it's time to come off of it. But it could be a temporary fix, baby. Like, you don't need to make this forever. When I was on antidepressants, I looked at it from a perspective of, okay, this is helping me in the time being, but it's just a Band-Aid. It's not going to resolve all of my problems. What is going to resolve my problems is going to therapy, doing the internal work, processing what I need to process. And I feel like that's exactly what this energy is trying to say here. Something about a dizzy spell, something about vertigo could be significant. They're pulling me to the trumpet and the cross on this Judgment card. And then I just heard the term awakening. So, honestly, some of you, this is your awakening, which I think I said something similar to that in the very beginning of this reading, right? Like, whatever you're experiencing right now is you opening up to your past, to your trauma, to the divine, to the universe, whatever you want to call it. But there is an aspect of you that is a little bit resistant. Okay, because sometimes when the Chariot shows up in the reverse position, it indicates oppositional energy. And I feel like that oppositional energy is causing you you don't know where to go right now. You don't know what path to take. You don't know what step to move towards. You don't know what direction to take your life. And that lack of direction is actually blocking you from allowing this rebirth to fully take hold. Because you have the Judgment and the Death card so close together, like, this is really big rebirth energy. I know that, again, baby, I know it doesn't feel like it currently, but I'm telling you that you are leading to new heights. You're moving towards a higher level of consciousness and a stability that you have prayed for probably the entirety of your life. But there's a part of you that, A, doesn't see that yet because you're not supposed to, but B, isn't really putting the plans in motion that you need in order to create what you want. That lack of direction is really blocking you from fully embracing this Queen of Pentacles frequency. So, like, the song Misery Business by Paramore, for some of you, if there is a relationship coming to an end, this person is either already in a new relationship or there is another person circling them. Just know that that person's always been there, is what I'm hearing, okay? This is not the other person's fault. I honestly feel like some of you are letting go of a narcissist. And if it's not a narcissist, it's someone that is severely emotionally unavailable and immature and has to have multiple people feeding their ego. Like, they cannot be alone. I don't, my ex's sister literally told me this term once, and I don't even know if it's a real thing, but like he very much is this. So I feel like I feel like sharing it. She called him a serial dater. Okay, not a serial cheater, a serial dater. Someone that literally jumps from relationship to relationship to relationship with like 5 seconds of breathing time. This is giving that. Yeah. There's a lot of conflict here, though. Something about, like, an ego-based energy. First of all, this song is so incredibly misogynistic that, like, it gives ick. And, like, Hayley Williams herself has, like, openly talked about how she, as an adult, knows that this is incredibly misogynistic. And, like, for a long time, they didn't actually perform this song. That's shifted, I think, recently because it is one of their most popular songs, so she decided to bring it back into the rotation. But there's something about, like, recognizing your own ego-based energy or misogyny towards others, especially if this person has been cheating on you. Like, maybe this was a serial cheater as well. You could be recognizing that it was never the other person's fault. It was always this individual. But your love for that person was blinding that truth. I do feel there is still some conflict surrounding whatever this transitional period is for you because of that. Like, the Five of Swords, to me, traditionally speaking, is not only conflict externally, but it's oftentimes having arguments with people where you say some really nasty shit to each other that you can't really take back. And I feel like because there is an ending that's so extreme in this collective's energy, you and this person you're walking away from could be having a really big argument surrounding it. The other factor that I'm seeing for those of you that this is a breakup, this type of person, whoever you're in the process of walking away from, they cannot just have healthy endings, okay? Like, this person has to have drama and chaos surrounding an ending so that they can point the finger. So that it's easier to be a piece of shit, is what I just heard. Which is leaving you really heartbroken and hurt and wounded, and that's fair, my love, okay? Like, it's totally fair. But they keep pulling me to this, like, sun in the background of this card's imagery. So, like, you don't see it right now because it's too fresh, but this is leading you towards positive energy. It's leading you towards new heights. It's leading you towards abundance and a transformation. One thing, I actually, like, recorded this 2 days ago, and I have it in my drafts on TikTok, but I had a breakup that's very similar energetically to this one, and I'm gonna tell you right now, as soon as I walked away from that person, my life did a 180. My finances went back to normal, my skin got better, my body got toned, my money got right, like, I had more stability, I found my passions, I found my purpose, and all it took was me finally cutting that cord and severing that tie with that person that was blocking me from seeing all of that. And I feel like that's exactly what this collective is going through. Especially because you're so grounded. Yeah, literally, as I'm talking about that too, we have the Two of Wands with the Four of Wands. This is shifting you to a new level of consciousness. It's bringing you into your authentic energy. It's helping you to recognize what it is that you want in your life. There's something about a mirroring energy. Something about moving home. This could be like physically moving back in with your family, or it could be like moving into a new home. Especially if you lived with this ex or this person that you're walking away from. Some of you, this isn't an ex. This is like a friend. The song Famous Last Words by My Chemical Romance, and for some reason it wasn't even playing. That's crazy. It like paused itself. Something about a red ribbon. So what's interesting to me is, even though you're feeling a lot of conflict, even though you're in this heaviness over here, there is a celebratory energy coming in for you, but there's a need for you to plan what you want next. Okay, because he's holding the world in his hand in this Two of Wands imagery. I feel like this collective needs to kind of put the world in their hand and recognize that, like, you can create whatever you want in your life. You just have to be willing to not only plan for it, but put the energy and time into it. And I feel like that's exactly what you're doing right now with this Judgment card here. It's like you're reflecting upon your past. You're seeing the things that you may have done that were not great. You're recognizing the patterns and you're starting to overcome them. You're no longer putting yourself in a box, is what I just heard. Yeah, we have Temperance and the Two of Cups. So temperance to me is all about divine timing. It's all about finding that natural ebb and flow. It's finding that sweet spot, that stability, that place that you want to be to bring forward what it is that you want in your life. And because a lot of you, I feel like, are going through a breakup, this is a little bit of a gentle confirmation that the union that you desire will come to you when the timing is right, but you have to have patience for that. You have to let it come to you naturally instead of trying to force it to fit. There's something about how, like, you could have forced this previous relationship to fit, and it wasn't meant to. And I feel like you're starting to recognize that this person didn't even really align with the kind of partner that you wanted. Something about an angel watching over you. Especially because the angel in this temperance card looks a lot like the one in the judgment card. Like, you're divinely protected. And you might not see that right now, but, like, you will, is what I'm being guided to mention. Honestly, something might pop off with this person. Especially because, like, for a lot of you, whoever you are in the process of walking away from or, like, going through a breakup with, take it however it resonates, but whoever this third party is, they have done this to a lot of people. Like, you're not the only person they have hurt to this degree. And you can't just go around doing that to people without receiving karma. And yes, sometimes karma is the life that you live, but this person's karma is big. Like, they have a big karmic debt to pay back. So I feel like as soon as you detach from them, 1616 on the timer confirmation, as soon as you detach from them, their life is going to go upside down. And if they did cheat on you and start dating that new person is their karma. And they're going to do to them exactly what they've done to you and everyone else. We have fire energy coming forward. Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Excuse me, doesn't necessarily have to be. I'm also seeing earth energy, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Yeah, Spirit's just encouraging you to keep focusing on your wishes. Keep focusing on the things that you want to bring forward. Put your intentions into the universe and let them go. And recognize that every time you wish, it comes. Yeah, we have death energy. I'm actually being guided to put that underneath the fire sign. So there is definitely a transformation, okay? Like, this is even more confirmation to me there's an ending. Because you got the death card in the tarot and you got it in the oracle. So this is all about a change that is unfolding. This transformation is leading you towards a rebirth. We do have illness, funeral, and moving on. So for some of you, this definitely ties into that message I said about losing somebody. This person had a illness. We have fitness. You could be taking better care of yourself. Maybe that's what your focus needs to be. Start focusing on your health. Start focusing on your diet, your wellness. Maybe create an exercise program for yourself. Drink more water. Those of you that are going through a breakup, I feel like the more you focus on your physical health, the better it's going to be for you. Not only mentally, but to help you move on and let go. We do have the confessions energy. Excuse me. And the Fool. Somebody's about to take a leap of faith here. After the proper amount of healing time has unfolded, I feel like, honestly, those of you that resonate with, like, starting a fitness journey and going to the gym, you might meet someone. You might get a gym crush. They might have a gym crush. I don't know. Take it how it resonates. There's just some sort of significance to, like, somebody seeing you somewhere and being intrigued by you. I feel like there's going to be an unexpected message, an unexpected unveiling, if you will. Some sort of leap of faith is unfolding in this energy. And Spirit's saying, like, this leap of faith is going to lead you towards what you've always wanted in your life. Something about Tide laundry detergent. The YouTube music I have in the background, just literally cannot make this up. The YouTube music I have in the background just randomly started playing an ad. So like I said, I saw earth energy as well. So we have Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, and then we also have Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So those could be significant. That's pretty much all the zodiac signs except for water. One more. Yeah, we have withdrawn and single. I feel like that's the journey that you're on right now, babe. You're on a journey of self-discovery. You're on a journey of learning how to be in your own company, of learning how to be solitary and comfortable with yourself. It's about becoming you, is what I just heard. And then there's that Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn again. Really big emphasis on earth energy because I saw it before it even came through. And then we have Archangel. What did I say? What did I say about an angel protecting this collective? And fall. So some of you are actually being encouraged to embrace your role as a leader within your community, within your career, whatever it is that you feel called to, okay? There is a lot of stability coming towards this collective, and again, like, you are divinely protected. And Spirit's saying you have a spiritual team of authority figures that are backing you right now, and you're going to start to feel their presence over the fall. I honestly really feel like whoever this person is that did you dirty, babies, like, I am telling you, karma is fucking coming. Trust it, is what I just heard. But that's what I have for this particular group. I hope that helps whoever it's meant for. I love you, and just know that you're not going to be in pain forever. Alright, this is for those of you that chose pile number 3, or you were drawn to my spicy tarot deck. This is going to be your reading. I did mention in pile number 1 that this particular pile might resonate. So for some of you, you could have been drawn to this one first and then pile number 1 as well. There could be some sort of significance to these 2 piles. I have no idea. But anyway, the first song to come on for this group is called Can't Get Enough by J. Cole featuring Trey Songz. And I'm immediately thinking of the line where he says, follow your moves all week on Twitter. So for some of you, this person watches your socials. If you have Twitter, they could watch that. Take it however it resonates for you, okay? So because this is the spicy tarot deck, a lot of these images I won't be able to show y'all. I will do my best. But what's interesting is what I'm looking at in the upright so far is the Knight of Pentacles, the Star, and the Eight of Wands. And the Knight of Pentacles imagery, there's actually no nudity. So I feel like there is an offer coming. For a lot of you, someone is about to bring you something, like a gift or an offering. This could be a physical item, or it could just be like an offering of love. Take it however it resonates for you. I am hearing the term stability and commitment. So I feel like this person, whoever this is, they've been working on their own sense of stability, their own security within their life, okay? And I feel like this person's been healing. They've been on a journey of self-discovery. And during that journey, they've started to recognize that what they want is this collective. They want a relationship with you, specifically. And I do feel like for a lot of you, they have a small gift, okay? Something about smoking cigarettes or vaping. Yeah, and then we have the Six of Wands going on top of that. So something about your body. This person's very attracted to your body. Specifically your bum, but like all aspects of it. I also keep being pulled to the hair energy, so this person could really like your hair as well. They're also pulling me to the rabbit and the dove on this Six of Wands energy. And something about like milk product for like your like skincare. So this could be like milk-based skincare products. They are showing me like the Glazing Milk by Rhode. Or maybe like a body lotion. I don't know, something about that. I'm also seeing oat milk. Something about, if you guys have been having trouble with dry skin, oat milk or milk-based products are going to be really helpful for you. They're really moisturizing is what I'm hearing. Others of you, you're having some issues with like blemishes on your skin is what I just heard. Like, personally, I have psoriasis, so like maybe you're having like blotches of eczema or like something like that. I don't know. And they're telling me zinc is all I keep hearing. Purchasing some zinc to put on it is going to be helpful. If that's not you, that could be this other person. And the other thing they're mentioning is like a very primal energy. So either you or this person coming towards you, you're very primal, meaning you very much like listen to your body, its instincts, etc. So the blemishes that have started surfacing could be triggering you a little bit into thinking that you're not walking the right path, you're not going in the right direction. Take that however it resonates. Something about worshiping you is also what I'm picking up on. And immediately, this is so 18 plus, and I'm going to try to sugarcoat this as much as possible. But something about you bending over and them behind eating it. That was the best way I could PG-ify it. Something about a pot. A cauldron, if you will. Interesting. They're now pulling me to the ladder in the background of this card too. So if you guys have been following me on my other platforms for a while, you've probably already heard me mention this, but I usually see like ladders, stairs, etc. as like an upgrade in your spiritual sense. So I feel like some of you are going through somewhat of a spiritual ascension where you're reaching a new height internally. That's what I just heard. And there is a victory coming towards y'all. So what is really interesting to me is in pile number 1, I'm pretty sure there was the 6 of Wands energy as well, and I know the Knight of Pentacles was there. So I do feel like this collective, there is a victory coming towards you. This could be a milestone. This could be a public victory. Take it however it resonates. For some of you, this is actually this relationship. Like, this person offering you whatever it is they're coming to offer you is actually going to be really, victorious. It's going to make you feel really successful. It's going to bring forward some sort of internal stability. The song Going Under by Evanescence. The other thing I find interesting, I don't actually know what rabbits symbolize spiritually speaking, and I do feel called to mention for this collective, if this reading ends up resonating, I would definitely look into rabbit spiritual meaning. But I keep being pulled to the aspect of rabbits, like how they boink like crazy. Like, you know that term, like boinking like rabbits? I feel like that's what you and this person are about to do. Honestly, for this collective, what September is bringing in for you is love and spice. Smexual energy. Intensity is what I just heard. You and this person have a really insane chemistry. There's something about how y'all lock eyes, and it's like... they're showing me fireworks, but like that just made me think of like, you know. If you know, you know. Okay. This is, again... I can't say what I want to say PG-wise, so I hope that that makes sense to those that... It will, for those it's meant for. I also feel like there's some sort of wish fulfillment. Like, you're honestly a wish come true to this person. Honestly, for a lot of this collective, I feel like you don't realize the pedestal that this individual has you on. The level of love and admiration they hold for you is light years above what you even realize, is what I just heard. And honestly, I feel like, yeah, we have the 3 of Cups here. I feel like that's because for some of you, this is a friend. This is someone that it's never really gone anywhere with. Like, there's always been this undeniable smexual chemistry. Like, I'm talking, like, off the charts chemistry. But I really and truly, I feel like for this group, you've never actually been intimate. And I feel like, first of all, it's a miracle that that's never happened. But a lot of you have always felt, like, friend-zoned. And it's interesting because I feel like that's mirrored. Like, you've always felt friend-zoned by each other. But in reality, there's this undeniable chemistry that you two have. But I feel like you've never vocalized it to one another. You've never been like, I'm super duper attracted to you. And if you have, it was recently. Or, I don't know. Like, it's interesting because some of you have had that conversation, but neither one of you believed it. I just pick up really strong, like, friend zone energy with that 3 of Cups for some reason. Even though, like, in this imagery, which I cannot show you, there's, like, a man in the behind and she's in front and he's cupping one and, like, putting his hand in another. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. This is the kind of fantasies you both have about each other. But there's this weird energy where, like, you both have, like, felt friend-zoned the entire relationship. I honestly feel like that's partly why neither one of you have taken a leap of faith in this dynamic before. Because you're afraid of rejection, is what I just heard. Especially whoever this Knight of Pentacles is. This person has wanted to take a leap of faith toward you and express how they felt. Which is why some of you might have already had a conversation about attraction. But it never moved beyond that, is what they're saying, okay? Playing Games extended version by Summer Walker and Bryson Tiller. This is like a friends to lovers situation. And again, like, I feel like this collective, like, I feel like this person quite literally has you on a pedestal. They see you as, like, the ultimate partner. Like, you are a star in this person's eyes. There is reunion energy coming forward. The 3 of Cups usually, to me, is an indication of reconciliation and reunion. I forgot the 2 of Cups was at the bottom of this deck, too. So, like, there is definitely love here. But, yeah, and then they, like, underneath the 2 of Cups is the 7 of Swords. And in the imagery of the 7 of Swords, it's like a man and a woman, but their, like, backs are to each other. So I feel like for a lot of you, there was a bit of a blockage in this relationship because of miscommunication in some form. Or a lack of communication. Take it however it resonates for you. But the passion is undeniable. The chemistry that you two have together is, like, it can't be ignored anymore, is what I just heard. They're also showing me another deck in my mind's eye. So I guess we're going to be pulling from 2 oracle decks today. Yeah. So what's really interesting is I was drawn to use this tarot deck yesterday on TikTok. So yesterday's TikTok collective could tie into this collective. Take it however it resonates for you. That doesn't have to be the case. But we have the Eight of Wands with the Page of Cups going on top of it. And what's really interesting to me is whenever I see this particular card, a couple things catch my eye immediately. First of all, the man's frustration always catches my eye instantaneously, especially the paper crumpled in his hand and how he's writing something. The other thing that always catches my eye is the full moon and the couple in the background. First thing I want to mention, we have a full moon on Sunday. So the full moon's energy, especially if you have Pisces placements I'm being guided to mention, or water energy in your chart at all, I think there's an eclipse with this full moon, okay? Don't quote me though, my astrology and planetary stuff is not as on par as it probably should be for a spiritual person, but I digress. If you have Pisces energy, or this person has Pisces energy, this is amplified, is what I'm hearing, okay? This individual is really triggered at the idea of losing their opportunity with you. They're triggered at the idea that somebody else is going to get your attention and you're going to be embraced in some sort of a lover's quarrel like that, okay? This person is having a really hard time figuring out what to say, okay? So even though they're showing me like a pressure, like a pot boiling over, like a kettle, like a stovetop kettle, like about to blow, about to burst, if you will. Because this person has so much they want to say to you, but one, they're a little bit afraid of saying the wrong thing, and two, there's this aspect of them feeling like you friend zone them. I don't know how else to explain that, but they keep bringing me back to the platonic vibe, even though there's so much real love and chemistry here. It literally, that's what this miscommunication is. This miscommunication is both of you not realizing how much you actually like each other, how much you actually want each other, how much you're drawn to each other. This person might actually be writing you a letter, okay? For a small group of you, it might not be, like, they are showing me, like, on pen and paper, but, like, for others of you, it could just be, like, they're writing you a really long paragraph. I don't know, take it how it resonates, but they're really frustrated because what they want to say, they don't know how to say it, and every time they write it, they think it doesn't sound right. There's also, like, something about this pink candle that's really pulling me in here, and what's really interesting, both the Eight of Wands and the Page of Cups symbolize communication. So I do feel like there is communication coming forward, and because the Eight of Wands is underneath of this Page of Cups, it's coming in really quickly. Like, I would not be shocked if you heard from this person today, is what I'm being guided to mention. Others of you, it's within the next 24 to 48 hours, but please remember that time is fluid and everybody has free will. So, like, even though that's what I'm seeing, that doesn't necessarily mean it will manifest accordingly. Something about a yellow ball, like a small yellow ball. I want to say a tennis ball, but it doesn't look like a tennis ball. It just looks like a tiny little yellow ball. I don't know. Yeah, we have the moon and the Five of Swords. So what's really interesting to me is in the moon's energy, there's like two couples engaged side by side, okay? And there's a pearl inside of a shell. So there's a couple things that I'm picking up on, and the mirror and the champagne glass and the full moon as well. Or the eclipse, actually, technically. I don't know. Something about that could be important. An eclipse or full moon, all right? And then the Five of Swords going on top of this. I feel like a lot of the conflict has to do with past triggers. I feel like it has to do with illusions and anxiety in both of your minds. One and both of you feel like there's a third party. Like, you either think that this person has a partner or they think that about you, or both. Okay, I feel like there's an aspect of both of you that are projecting some of your past onto your present, which came through in pile number one. And then we talked about, like, a really narcissistic ex came through in the tail end of pile number one. And I feel like this is the person I picked up on in the beginning of it, which makes sense as to why I mentioned it in both ones, like both readings, sorry. Some of you are letting your illusions from your past, the anxieties of your past trauma and relationships, actually block the clarity and truth of this dynamic with this person. There is conflict here because of your guys' heads, is what I'm being guided to mention. The conflict is in your mind, is what I just heard. But I do feel like with the Justice card, and then we have the Nine of Pentacles, there is a shift happening. There's balance being restored in this energy, and clarity is coming, is what I just heard. What's really interesting to me is that Justice card is going on top of the Page of Cups and the Six of Wands. So the communication that's coming forward is bringing forward truth. It's bringing forward clarity and balance, and it's actually helping you to not only recognize yourself, but to recognize this connection for what it is. The Nine of Pentacles is all about stability. It's all about independence. It's all about, like, living luxuriously, if you will. It's my mini Empress as well. So, like, this is confirmation that this person truly sees you in a light that I feel like this collective doesn't really see themselves. Something about pomegranates. Something about a wood stove or a fireplace could be significant. This person could be on their phone a lot, or maybe that's you. There's something about, like, a phone issue here. We have clarity. What did I just say? There's truth coming forward. A moment of clarity, a moment of truth is what I just heard. We have giving. So one thing I do feel called to mention, if somebody's constantly on their phone, this doesn't always necessarily mean it's a bad thing, okay? Like, everybody self-soothes differently. Do I think you can get an addiction to your cell phone and doom scrolling? Absolutely. Do I feel like that's the case with this particular collective? No. I feel like this person uses their phone for entertainment purposes when they're not working or when they're not doing whatever it is that they want to do in their own life. Like, this person feels very grounded and present, so it doesn't feel like it's an unbalanced energy. When you're on your phone too much and you're too much online, you're not grounded or present. It doesn't feel that way with this individual. It's almost like this person uses, like, doom scrolling as a means to self-soothe, but they have a good, like, balance with it, is what they're showing me. I do feel like there is an equal give and take coming forward for this group. The song Glamorous by Fergie, but there is some sort of a choice that needs to be made in this energy. What else do we have for pile number 3 for what September is bringing for them? Excuse me. Things are heating up between you and this person, y'all, I'm telling you. I feel like they're about to take a risk. They're about to roll the dice and come forward. I'm about to risk it all, is what I just heard. Some of you are going to have some clarity about how you and this individual have a past life together. So part of the reason the chemistry is off the charts, part of the reason it feels the way that it does, is because you knew each other in previous lives. We have abundance coming forward. There's an increase in financial abundance. This person is about to be, like, so completely obsessed with you. Like, I'm hearing, why are you so obsessed with me? But you like it, is what I just heard. Yeah, like, there's a potential for marriage here. But I do feel like there is a bit of a blockage in this energy. For some of you, it's stubbornness. For some of you, it's old patterns. For others of you, it's a lack of self-trust or trust in your intuition. Please take it however it resonates. I have to put these away. They're driving me crazy. And then we also have anger issues. That was at the bottom of that deck. So for some of you, maybe that's what the blockage is. Maybe it has to do with anger issues or trauma is what I just heard. All right, let's see what this deck wanted to say. Something about a red leaf, like a red leaf on a tree. I don't know. I just work here. All right, what do we have for pile number? Okay. Time to get out of your shell. What did I say about a pearl? When I saw the moon's energy with that tarot deck, there's something significant about a pearl. Honestly, this collective is being guided to step out of their comfort zone. With the time to come out of your shell energy, this is a time for you to let yourself be seen, let yourself shine, be who you are, is what I'm being guided to mention. We also have visualize and create. Getting creative might really help this collective to get out of their headspace and into their body. It's a good grounding practice. We also have fulfillment will be yours. So a gentle reminder that no matter what you're going through right now, no matter what you're experiencing, you're attracting what you desire. And then we have the haunted by an ex and spring. Some of you, remember how I said in pile number 1, we talked about a narcissistic energy from your past? This is what you're being haunted by right now. And I feel like this spring could have been when you were connected to this person. Maybe this person's birthday is in the springtime. Maybe that's when you started seeing the truth of this individual. Take it however it resonates. But I feel like there is a moment of clarity coming forward surrounding that. Yeah, and then we have the going in circles and chocolate for love. So for some of you, I do feel like, and then we have overwhelmed with bills. I feel like there was a relationship from your past, once again, like we talked about in pile number 1. I really feel like this group, if this has resonated, go watch that pile. And vice versa. But I feel like that person from your past, when you would be triggered romantically with them, you would overeat, you would overindulge, you would be unbalanced in your finances and your own stability, and it would just cause you to go in a circle repeatedly. So I feel like some of you are definitely projecting that past into this present, especially because the level of lust that you feel for this partner, like this new energy coming toward you, the level of lust that you feel for each other is very similar to the level of lust you felt for this toxic relationship. But the difference is that toxic relationship, it was lust, and it was a lesson that you needed to learn surrounding codependency. This person, it's more than lust. Remember how in the tarot with that star card, like this person truly sees you as a star. This is exactly it. Like the difference between the person from your past and this new individual is this new individual puts you on a pedestal. That past person didn't really care about you. I say that with so much love. I love who you are is what I just heard. I want to talk on the phone with you. Crush in my head again. This person thinks about you 24/7. Like you live in each other's minds rent free. Something about studying. Some of you could be studying for school, like maybe a test of some sort. Others of you could be studying your healing journey. Take it how it resonates. We have escape glamper camping. There could just be a vacation coming forward for a small group of you. We have a move. Some of you that are overwhelmed with your finances right now, it's because you just moved into a new place or you're in the process of moving and saving up to move. So your money is tighter than it would be. And I feel like that could be triggering for those of you that have any type of scarcity or poverty mindset. You could be a little bit triggered financially, but I feel like that is coming to an end. There is an ending in your energy field. For some of you, the ending is you letting go of that past partner. Others of you, the ending is the triggers around your finances. And some of you, it's both, okay? I still have strong feelings for you. This person's going to confess some truth. I honestly feel like there's a conversation you're about to have with this individual, like a phone call, a FaceTime, and I'm pretty sure it was pile number 1 that I talked about that as well. Some of you live at a distance from one another. We have travel plans, so this is very specific, but those of you that resonate with just having moved or being in the process of moving and saving up, that trigger around money is also coming from wanting to see this individual. Like, you want to travel towards them, but you don't have the pocket to do it. Or vice versa. Take it however it resonates, okay? Yeah, the divine is guiding this, though. The divine is guiding you towards what it is that you need to learn. Honestly, with that studying and ending here, I feel like some of you, your spiritual guides are actually guiding you to understand and unpack some trauma surrounding a relationship that unfolded in maybe a negative way, okay? And we do have the love your independence. This person really loves how you take care of yourself. I'm too nervous to talk to you. I really feel like this person's shy. I feel like, yeah, and then we have trying to make better choices, king dang-a-lang, and making amends. I feel like this person and happy introverts. This person's trying to take better care of themselves. They're trying to get clean, sober, trying to take better care of their pocket. I don't know, take it how it resonates, but this person is really nervous about communicating with you because they've never had someone like you. And because they have you on such a pedestal, this person gets really triggered at the idea of saying the wrong thing. Anyway, that's what I have for this particular group. Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers. And of course, the songs are in the description box below for those that are interested. I love y'all, and I'll catch y'all next time. Hello, babies. This is for those of you that chose pile number 4, I think we're at, or you were drawn to this beautiful tarot deck here. This particular deck is usually an indication to me that you have like a colorful or a vibrant or a bright aura, whatever you want to call it. Okay, this is the Light Seers deck, and I don't know why it's always giving me that vibration, but the first song to come on for this collective is Thinking About You by Dustin Lynch featuring Lauren Elena. It'll be in the description video. Hello. It'll be in the description box below. Something about like this collective having a blocked throat chakra. Especially we have the 7 of Swords at the bottom of the deck here. So, and then the Queen of Pentacles underneath of that. And then what is peeking out? The Death card. They're showing me pile number, oh my gosh, what one was that? I want to say 2. They're showing me the Raider White deck in my mind's eye. So, like, there could be some sort of significance to this collective going through a breakup, because that did come through in that pile. But take it however it resonates for you, of course. What I do find really interesting is when I was pulling these cards and asking Spirit what this collective had in store for September, the 9 of Swords came out, and then it was clarified by the 6 of Swords. And immediately off the bat, I heard a pleasant surprise. And I also heard like a shift in energy. So you're in for a bit of a pleasant surprise this month, is what this collective is being guided to hear right now. And for a lot of you, I feel like it has to do with your finances. Yeah. And I just flipped over the world. That was the only card I couldn't see. So for a lot of you, I feel like a cycle is coming to completion. You are gaining some sort of closure when it comes to a relationship, an ending of some sort. Honestly, for a lot of you, I feel like that's what this energy is about here. You are gaining clarity surrounding someone who was very manipulative, very toxic, an ego-based energy from your past. So this is very specific, but for those of you that were drawn to pile number 1, it may not have resonated because this breakup happened a while ago for you. This could have been 5, 6, 7 months ago, or even years. Take it however it resonates. There are some that are still going through that separation period, like it either just happened or it's unfolding as we speak, which is why that pile was as intense as it was energetically, sad-wise. This collective is like coming out of that. So it's like you're stepping out of that depression, out of that sadness, out of that anxiety, and moving into a more peaceful, abundant, nurtured frequency. Especially how I'm looking at these cards. I wish I could show y'all, but how they're laid out on the table is this 9 of Swords, okay? And then underneath of it is the 6 of Swords. And then next to it is the Ace of Pentacles. And then on the other side, we have this World energy, which is absolutely beautiful, clarified by the Page of Pentacles energy, and then the Queen of Swords. So part of the reason this completion is happening, part of the reason this cycle is closing for you, is not only because you have started to kind of unpack a lot of that stuff, you've started to look at the depths of this energy over here and made space for that rebirth to happen. It's also unfolding because of the clarity that you have internally. So because this collective is showing up as that Queen of Swords, you are in a very clear vibration right now. They just keep giving me that term. And I feel like it's because you're finally seeing beyond the illusions in your mind and you're recognizing the truth underneath the surface. You're no longer allowing things to be brought, I don't know, confusion is what I'm hearing. Like you're no longer allowing things to be brought in by confusion or manipulation or illusions. You're seeing them for what they are versus what your ego previously wanted them to be. And I feel like that's what's bringing forward a transformation. There is like a really big aspect of this energy that's pulling me in. Like, first of all, I see the circle being symbolic for this collective. So there could have been something about being stuck in somewhat of a circle or a cycle. I am hearing the cycle of abuse. And I feel like you are completing that. Like you're gaining closure and moving away from this type of energy, especially because the 9 of Swords is right next to this World's influence. The World to me is all about a completion of a cycle. It's about a chapter closing and you finally recognizing something in a clearer way so that you can gain that closure and move your life in a new direction. I also am being pulled to like a rainbow energy here. And with the 6 of Swords and Page of Pentacles being underneath of those two cards, I feel like for a lot of you, what you're moving away from is anxiety, sadness, depression, confusion, all of this energy over here that came with whatever relationship you are letting go of. And what you're moving towards is more stability, more security, more clarity is what I just heard. The 6 of Swords, traditionally speaking, is quite literally moving away. It's transitioning, it's letting go, it's shifting and going through somewhat of a rite of passage so that you can step into a more balanced and harmonized energy within yourself. And I feel like that's what's happening for this group. Like you're letting go of the old and making way for the new. And as you're doing that, you're attracting something towards you. Especially because the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles both symbolize some sort of manifestation coming through. And for a lot of you, I feel like this is financial in nature. There's some sort of root that you've planted into yourself, into your healing, into your growth. And it's going to manifest in an interesting way, is what they just said. So what they're kind of giving me with that energy is like there's something that you've been working towards. And I feel like it has to do with your healing. I feel like it has to do with your sense of stability, your security, the life that you've been building. And this is something that you've been calling into fruition for quite some time. With that Page of Pentacles, I feel like this is something you've been manifesting. It's something you've been asking the universe for, but you were never really ready for it. And part of the reason you were never really ready for it was because you were still kind of trapped in this energy of the 9 of Swords. But part of this shift and transformation that you're experiencing is not only you seeing things in a much more clear perspective, but you're finally ready for whatever this opportunity is. So part of the reason this is coming in for you, and it could manifest in the month of September or just a little bit after, so like the first couple of weeks of October, part of the reason this is coming in for you is because you are no longer in a position where your mind can be clouded. Does that make sense? I ask like any of y'all can hear me. There's just a really big significance, to the aspect of the Queen of Swords energy that is very unbiased in her judgments and sees things in a very clear point of view. I feel like that's the exact energy this collective has stepped into or is stepping into. It's like you're finally seeing things for what they are. You're seeing beyond the illusions of yourself as well as others. You're seeing people's masks. And whatever opportunity is coming towards you, whatever this Ace of Pentacles is representative of, for a lot of you, this is a job. This is an increase in financial stability that's going to make you feel so at ease and at peace with your life. Take it however it resonates. For some of you, maybe it's a partnership, but I really do feel like with the Pentacles aspects being here and like how peaceful she looks, I feel like for a lot of you, this has to do with a career shift. And it's a really positive one. But if this would have come to you 6 or 7 months ago, it would have triggered you. I honestly feel like there's a part of this collective that like your lack of clarity in the past energy would have blocked you from seeing the blessing this was. I did just hear the term a blessing in disguise. So like for some of you, maybe this has to do with like a sacrifice being made in order to make space for the blessing. I don't know, take it how it resonates, but either way, you're going to see it very clearly. Now, there is a really strong emphasis off of that Queen of Swords as well that ties into boundaries. So for some of you, perhaps what September, and the sun's getting brighter, that's crazy. Perhaps what September is actually going to bring forward for you is like learning how to be very clear in your boundaries and not swaying off of them. Take it however it resonates, of course. What is this song? I Don't Want This Night to End by Bryan. Something about ravens, maybe even crows I'm hearing, okay? We have past life energy, deja vu. Some of you have been having a lot of deja vu lately. What's interesting is this says knowing, deja vu, and past love, and it came out with a dating card. Some of you are starting to date again. You're getting ready to be wined and dined to let romance back into your life. I feel like for a lot of you that do resonate with what I had mentioned about pile number 2, you had a really big blockage in your love life because of that ex-partner. And I feel like that ex-partner was really narcissistic. And I feel like they caused you to kind of lose hope in love, lose faith in love. And there's a part of you that's shifting out of that. You're starting to and again, it's because of the clarity and the boundaries that you now have for yourself. You taught yourself how to overcome it, is what I just heard. All right, what else do we have for this pile? What is coming forward for them this month? So we have young woman and young man. Honestly, those of you that are non-binary, those of you that are queer, that are gay, that are bisexual, whatever, honestly, gay doesn't really fit this mold, but there could be both genders coming towards you. For those of you that are straight or gay, there could be a relationship coming forward in a platonic sense, either with someone of the opposite sex or someone that identifies as a young person. Take it however it resonates, okay? I just feel like a very youthful energy here. There is an energy of someone who, hello, chaos. There is an energy here of somebody who likes cars. So like a car person. It wouldn't be a real reading if I didn't drop half of them on the floor. Yeah, like somebody who's like either really athletic or they're athletic and they're also into cars. Like I'm seeing also motorcycles. This person could be younger than you too, for a small group of you. I don't know, take it however it resonates. I'm also seeing something about fashion and music being significant. What else do we have for pile number 4 for what's coming in for them this month? Yeah, that past life energy tied into a need for control. There was a part of you that had a tendency to be controlled by other people. I don't remember what pile this was, but in one of these piles today, I talked about a puppet on a string energy, and I think it's crazy that this is literally that image. This is exactly what this collective is doing. You're releasing the control of the past. You're releasing controlling people, and you're taking back your power. And you are, in turn, attracting true love. Somebody's going to ask this group out. Someone's going to ask you on a date. This is an honest connection, someone with pure, authentic love. What did I tell y'all? A career shift. This is career, business, success, and advancement. I feel like there's a shift in your career coming forward in a really positive way. Like, something very beautiful is opening up for you, and it's going to bring forward a lot of financial abundance. This is going to be like your first big girl, big guy, big person job, if you will, like your real adult job is what I just heard. There could also be something about buying or selling a home here. Maybe you're looking into property. Maybe some of you are going to become real estate agents. Something about a new residence is also what I just heard. Regardless of what's unfolding in your life, my lovies, this is destiny. This is a part of your purpose. This is a part of your path. We also have the blonde feminine. It doesn't necessarily have to be blonde, just lighter hair. I don't know why this always irked me, but it's blonde. It literally says blonde, and then it's red hair. Like, make that make sense. Anyway, there's just an aspect of laid back, an aspect of being chill. For some of you, a part of your destiny and like someone that you're about to meet has like lighter to dark hair is what I'm hearing. Okay. There's a feminine energy coming in for this collective. This could be a new friend, a new partner. Take it however it resonates, okay? But this is a part of your destiny. This person's going to lead you towards your people is what I just heard. Love that. Yeah, and then we have new love at the bottom of the deck. So for a lot of you, this could be a new love interest coming forward. But that's what I have for y'all. Oh, no, wait. They're pulling me to one more deck. Okay. I'm lying. I'm being pulled to this one. Let's see what comes through. Yeah, whatever this is, it's worth waiting for. I'm hearing real love is worth the wait. Spirit's reminding you that divine timing is at play in your life, okay? There's a really big emphasis on control issues here. So with the let go of control issues coming through in this deck and also the taking back your power with the control energy in the other one, I feel like this collective is being really heavily guided to just allow this situation to unfold naturally. Don't try to control it. Don't try to force it. Just allow it to flow. The less you do, the better is what I just heard. We do, have new love coming forward. For a lot of you, there is a new love on the scene. And you're being guided to trust it. You're being guided to trust what you feel. This is worth waiting for. Playfulness. Yeah, there's a definite youthful aspect to this connection. We do also have the free yourself. Take back control of your life coming forward. And then honeymoon energy. So some of you have a new love coming in that is going to feel very light. It's going to feel very airy, very playful. But the only way for this to actually really work out in the long-term perspective is by letting go of the need to control it and freeing yourself from the chains of your past. So long as you do that, you're going to attract exactly what it is that you want. Everything is working according to plan, is what I just heard. I hope that helps whoever it's meant for. I love y'all, and I'll catch y'all next time. Hello, babies. This is for those of you that chose pile number 5 or you were drawn to my Witch's Tarot deck. I do not remember which pile I mentioned this one in, but I did mention it in one of my piles. So there could be some sort of significance to that. Yeah, I don't know. The first song to come on for this group is Baby One More Time by Britney Spears. So what's really interesting is the first cards that came, like the cards that I can see in the upright position, I should say, are the Tower and the Sun. Like they're the only two ones that I can see, and it was actually only these 3 cards at first because I was guided only to pull 3, and then obviously I wanted a little bit more on what was going on with the Tower and the Sun energy. The bottom of the deck for this group is the King of Wands. So there is this aspect of like stepping into a more confident and charismatic energy. I feel like this group is shifting into a more leadership driven vibration. But there is a Tower moment happening here. For some of you, this is past energy. This already unfolded. Others of you, this is in the process of happening right now. And a small group of you, this could be coming in the near future. Take it however it resonates for you. But because the Sun came out right next to this Tower, I honestly feel like for a lot of you, this is a positive moment. I know that that doesn't really seem like it. I personally love the Tower. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. Like oftentimes I think the Tower gets a bad reputation because most people see it and they immediately feel triggered. They immediately think, oh my God, my life is going to fall apart. And you know what? Yeah, sometimes that does happen. But if that happens, it actually brings forward an awakening and an ascension. No matter what change manifests with the Tower, whether it's drastic or mild, it always leads you towards growth. And I feel like that's exactly what's happening for this collective. Especially because the song Baby One More Time is playing, and it's like, it's making me think that this group, like, you're learning some sort of a lesson. This could have to do with your love life, it could have to do with your partnerships, take it however it resonates for you, but there was a jolt Like, they're pulling me to the lightning bolt in this card's imagery that's hitting the tower. And I feel like whatever this lightning bolt was, it was a moment of clarity for a lot of you that is forcing you to acknowledge some truth about a connection or a situation that was built on a false foundation. So even though there is a drastic change unfolding around you, and for some of you, this is more intense than others, it is leading you towards so much positivity and warmth. You just can't see that quite yet. Okay, some of you can already see it, some of you can't. It depends on where you're at in your own process, in your own mind, okay? Yeah, and the Temperance card as well. So first and foremost, I want to mention once again, like, I was called to only pull 3 cards. So these are the 3 cards that would have been the only part of the reading if I didn't keep going. And I feel really called to mention all 3 of those cards being major arcanas is a huge indication that there is a major change happening in this collective's life. And because this is the Witch's Tarot deck, for a lot of you, this major change is a spiritual awakening. You are going through an ascension and an upgrade where you are finally recognizing a lot of truth about your karmic patterns, your habits, like your codependencies, whatever you want to call it. I feel like you are having such an awakening moment and ascending to a new height when it comes to your spiritual path and your truth. Now, with the Temperance card being here, this is my divine timing card. They're pulling me to the rainbow in the background, which is giving peace. Especially, like, if you look at these cards, like, you have Temperance, the Tower, and then the Sun. So the Tower is sandwiched between 2 relatively positive energies. Obviously, the Sun is more positive than Temperance. Temperance is very neutral energy. But I feel like that in itself is even more confirmation that whatever you're experiencing right now, this change might be chaotic, but it's meant to unfold. It's part of your destiny. It's aligned with where you're going. And it's bringing in a lot more positive energy and growth and abundance. Do you see the sun getting brighter? I can't make this shit up. The song that's playing right now is called This Love by Maroon 5. Yeah, and then we have the 5 of Cups clarifying that Temperance card, the 6 of Swords clarifying the Tower, and the 7 of Pentacles clarifying the Sun. And then we have the Knight of Swords with the Page of Pentacles. So first of all, I feel like with this 5 of Cups energy and the Temperance being right above it, there is something that you have been hyper-focused on that Spirit's actually encouraging you it's time to let go of. Especially because this imagery is really giving me, like, ebb and flow, give and take, you know, flowing with what you need to flow with. And then this one is really giving me melancholy energy. So for a lot of you, part of what you need to kind of flow a little bit more with is your emotions. There's a part of you that is not fully tapped into the emotions that you need to process, and it's actually causing you to be a little bit out of balance within your day-to-day life. I feel like this collective is avoiding something. I'm hearing the term avoidance, and it could have to do with whatever this Knight of Swords is. It doesn't necessarily have to, but there is a heaviness in your heart space that you need to process. This is some sort of pain that's been lingering underneath the surface for longer than it deserves to, is what I'm hearing for a lot of you. And now they're pulling me to, like, how there's 3 cups knocked over, but 2 still in the upright position. So for some of you, whatever you've been hyper-focused on that didn't work out, that didn't manifest the way you wanted it to, it's actually blocking you from recognizing what you still have. And I think it's interesting that in this Temperance card, she's kind of like holding those 2 cups, right? It's like giving me the vibe that the less focus you put on the things that didn't work out, the less focus you put on the things that you literally cannot change, the more you're going to start to notice a shift in your own energy and in your own mental state of mind. What's even more interesting to me is you have the Tower being clarified by the 6 of Swords. So the 6 of Swords is quite literally an indication that you're moving away from something. You're leaving something behind and moving towards calmer waters. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is going to be a welcome surprise if you've been dealing with a lot of chaos in your 3D. If that Tower moment that you experienced was very drastic, then this is confirmation that it's starting to calm down. Again, they're showing me a rainbow energy, okay? And I do feel like for a lot of you, it's because you're finally allowing that change to happen. You're not resisting it. You're not trying to control it. You're not forcing it to fit. You're just going with the flow of it and allowing it to unfold the way that it's meant to versus the way that your ego wanted it to be previously. And I feel like this is a bit of a rite of passage for you, but it's not without difficulty. Spirit's guiding me to mention here. And what's interesting is I was pretty sure that there was a combination with these 2 cards. So the Sun and the Tower together actually indicate that you are using a life-changing event to bring in new positive energy into your life. So I feel like for a lot of you, this is confirmation that, like, whatever Tower moment just happened or is happening or is about to it's a big one. And I feel like it's a big one in the sense that, like, it's giving you so much clarity. Like, once again, they're bringing me back to, like, a spiritual awakening. I feel like for a lot of you, this is that tower that crumbles your old foundation, that makes you have to recognize the life that you were building isn't really aligned with who you are. It's almost like you're starting to look around you and recognize that all of the people you're surrounded by don't really want to grow. They don't really want to become better people. And I'm being guided to actually keep this guy. I feel like part of the reason why you're experiencing this moment of clarity is because you've been putting in a lot of work towards yourself. You've been putting in a lot of work towards your healing, towards your stability, towards your sensibility, and, like, the love that you want to have in your life, whether this is platonically, internally, familial, like, take it however it resonates. But you are shifting into this energy of the King of Swords, where you're recognizing that the kind of life that you want is to be in your power. You want to walk in a position of power within yourself and in your life that makes you feel comfortable within everything, in your community, in your environment, etc. This is about you embracing your leadership qualities and not being afraid of it. And I feel like in the past, there was a version of you that was afraid to shine too brightly because the people in your company didn't like that. Like, again, they're bringing me back to, like, this collective could be recognizing that, like, the growth that they hold within is not something that average people do. Okay. And I feel like with this Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords being here, you are starting to recognize a pattern. Whether this is within your finances, whether this is within your connections, take it however it resonates. But part of this pattern ties into not only your financial stability, but also in and out behavior. So some of you could go in and out of, like, being in a little bit more of a stable position, putting a little bit more emphasis into what you're building, and then back into an unbalanced energy with impulsiveness or hasty choices, etc. And I feel like you're also recognizing people that kind of, like, they're showing me a revolving door energy. So people that come in and out of your life and kind of muck up your mental state, like, is what they're showing me. So what they're telling me to mention with this energy over here with the Temperance and the Five of Cups and the Knight of Swords going on top of it, there's a part of this collective that you find yourself in a more stable position. You're balanced. You're being moderate in your approach to life. Like, you're in a balanced energy, okay? And then all of a sudden someone will pop up, whether this is someone from your past or someone with similar characteristics to the old version of you, and it would cause you to kind of lose your footing. And it would cause you to be a little bit out of balance because, like, this collective has a tendency to go from 0 to 100, especially in love. So if someone comes in and out of your life and then they disappear without communicating where they're going, it puts you in this energy of the Five of Cups. And then you've lost your balance. You've lost that stability that you built. And I feel like something is shifting in this. Because the Page of Pentacles is oftentimes a student card, I feel like this collective is learning from a failure, especially with the Tower and the Six of Swords underneath of that. Please, please, please by Sabrina Carpenter playing too. Some of you are learning a lesson around codependency and unhealthy love and attachments, especially because we do have that Seven of Swords as now the new bottom of the deck energy. So, like, someone was a little bit manipulative. There was some sort of deceptive energy here. This could have been a relationship romantically. It could have been a platonic. It could have been you, yourself. Like, take it however it resonates. But, yeah, this had to do with a mother or father wound. And I feel like this collective is in the process of healing it. You're finally recognizing truth around your own wounding. We have ex-partner affecting the connection. And then we have master, manipulator, shapeshifter, or charmer. That does not shock me. So this is what I'm saying. I feel like this collective, you're seeing a lot of truth about someone very manipulative. You're recognizing some clarity moments. And honestly, I feel like part of this clarity that you're gaining is you're recognizing you gravitated towards this dynamic with this individual because of your own wounding surrounding your mother or father wound. And I feel like you are seeing a lot of truth, okay? And Spirit's just encouraging this group right now. You need to focus on yourself. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about what they're doing. Keep your focus on yourself and your own healing. Focus in on healing your mother and father wounding so that you can attract partnerships, whether these are romantic or platonic, that are more aligned with you and the connections that you desire. We do have shadow work needed, and I think it's interesting it's going underneath of the ex-partner affecting the connection. So some of you need to do a little bit of work surrounding a previous relationship. And they're immediately pulling me to master, manipulator, shapeshifter, and charmer. And then we have please hear me out. I feel like it isn't worth hearing this person out. I do feel like you need to do some soul searching surrounding a relationship with someone who manipulated you. Someone who made you feel like they were something that they weren't, is what I'm hearing. Like, we have Kiss Me Softly. Like, This person tries to act like they're this like gentle, kind individual, but in reality, they're actually really toxic, and they're taking advantage of your kindness and the soft spot that you have for them. Because I feel like a lot of you struggle with people-pleasing habits, and I feel like this person knew that. So they took advantage of that aspect of you. And Spirit's saying, like, there are surprises in store for you. It's time to keep going, keep pushing forward. There is a need for you to invest your money a little bit more wisely. I feel like there's a transformation here. And, like, the more you let go of this ex-partner, the more you let go of this person and this, ultimately, this toxic relationship, the more you're going to attract security, is what they just showed me, okay? We do have the toxic relationship coming out from this deck as well. So that's confirmation. Yeah, some of you are going through a bit of a breakup or an ending. And, like, this could have been a while ago. It could be presently. It could be recent. Take it however it resonates. But you are walking away from a toxic connection. Someone that was very manipulative. Someone that could have even cheated on you in some capacity. Yeah, we have retaliation. I feel like this person is the type to try to retaliate, to try to throw shade back at you. But, like, at the end of the day, who cares? Like, whatever this person does, it's not really going to affect you, is what I'm being guided to mention. We do have the shadow work coming out again. So double confirmation that some of you need to unpack some stuff. Yeah. Especially if you find yourself checking out lately, if you've been disassociated from your life. And I think I did say, like, with that 5 of Cups energy, I did feel a really big aspect of needing to unpack some heavier emotions. Some of you have been a little bit obsessive recently. Take that however it resonates. Yeah. And then we have narcissistic behavior. Interesting. Fated meeting. One more. So for a lot of you, this connection was fate. This connection was brought into your path so that you could recognize some patterns of your own stuff, okay? Like, a lot of you have a tendency to chase and get very obsessive, and I feel like this relationship had to reflect that back to you. There was some sort of a petty argument that manifested that actually caused this riffle, if you will. It caused all of it to unfold, is what they're showing me. We also have communication is lacking. I feel like this was fate. I feel like this was destined. And didn't I say that, like, with this tarot deck? Like, for a lot of you, I feel like whatever this is that's unfolding, it's the start to an ascension. It's the start to an awakening. So you can truly heal your wounds and patterns around relationships. 1414 on the timer. That's confirmation. Anyway, that's what I have for this particular pile. I hope that helps whoever it was meant for. I love y'all, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.